When the worship team discussed having Tell Me How This Story Ends as our sermon of the month this Sunday, we talked about what it means to grow up UU at any age. How do we know what to do when the stories that showed us how to live no longer serve us? We reached out to our fellowship for their thoughts and selected responses from young adults about how it impacted their coming of age at a time when they are formulating who you are and what you think you should do. What kind of person do you want to be? Do you share our values? Our first response comes from my daughter, Lily Charlotte Landstrom. Growing up Unitarian Universalist meant learning about others, learning about myself, and learning about the world that holds us. I was never simply taught to love your neighbor as yourself. Instead, I learned to love people fully and openly. I learned that how we treat one another matters more than dogma, and that every person carries inherent worth and dignity. Those are not just words I heard on Sundays. They were values growing up we practiced every day. We volunteered helping others, helping sort food donations, sewing blankets for dogs in the pound, picking up litter on the beach, period product for those experiencing homelessness, because caring for others was never abstract. It was something we lived out together. I learned that seeing something wrong and doing nothing can be just as harmful as doing the wrong itself. I learned to strive for justice, empathy, understanding, and acceptance. I learned that change rarely happens alone. It grows through community, through people working together, rather than falling into the trap of individualism or self-interest. No one person can carry the world's weight on their back. As the saying goes, shared joy is double joy. Shared sorrow is half a sorrow. Unitarian Universalism also helped me about myself. I discovered that I feel most fulfilled when I help others, when I contribute in some small way to making the world kinder and more just. And it taught me about the earth, the living system that provides the building blocks of life. I learned to treat it with respect, to cherish it, to protect it. The beliefs I learned growing up Unitarian Universalist will stay with me throughout my life. They guide my choices and shape the way I move through the world. Throughout life, we learn many lessons. Some come through years of education or hard-earned experience, yet some of the most important lessons are simple, easy to overlook, easy to lose. Think about it. Think about the shared values that shape this community: interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. Don't leave your values in the parking lot of this fellowship. Take those ideals home with you. Learn them, live them. Carry them into the way you treat strangers, the way you stand up for others, and the way you care for this earth. The world is shaped piece by piece by the values we choose to live. Let the ones that make this world kinder, fairer, and more hopeful be for everyone. Next, William Kieser shares his thoughts via video.
Hello, my name is William Kieser. I'm Judy Keiser's son, for those of you who know my mother, Judy. I am living in New York. I'm a screenwriter, and I grew up UU at UFBR. And I was thinking about this theme of loneliness and what do we sacrifice when we reach out to others. And I think what's interesting is that my UU faith has given me a lot of confidence to pursue my own path and search for meaning. Personally, I'm a writer. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I do. And that can often put me at odds with others because social circumstances are usually engineered to optimize for pleasantness and politeness. And I am driven to want people to speak truth and want to have deeper conversations and these kinds of things. And so I think I've recently returned to going to a UU fellowship in New York, and one of the things I've really enjoyed is how it's a bit of a calibration every week of the importance of truth and the importance of people being able to gather and just feel and ask questions. And so I think one major thing that Unitarian Universalism has given me is that sort of sacred place in which questions and truth are important.
Finally, we invite Courtney Cannon to come up to the microphone. Courtney?
Good morning. My name is Courtney and I'm a UU. My father was christened at the First Unitarian Church in Richmond, Virginia in 1948. My grandfather was a humanist minister and founded the Vero Beach Unitarian Fellowship in 1982. But I was not introduced into Unitarian Universalism until I was a preteen, mainly because, and I've been thinking about this, my dad didn't do any of the hard work of child rearing. That was my mom's job, to do the homework and the religion and the cooking. My dad did the fun stuff like swim lessons. So I was raised Episcopalian until I went to SUSE, which is the Southeast Unitarian Universalist Summer Institute in Blacksburg, Virginia, as a preteen, and that changed my life. I never fit in here in Boca. I never was the kid that was part of doing all the other things. I was never a makeup and hair girl, ever. And then I found my people. My people were Unitarian Universalists. And I came here as a preteen and I met the coolest humans in the world. Mike Drew, Heather Stewart, Jeremy Verkuterin, Colleen Murphy. And you know what we did? We did zines. I learned about Nirvana and the Violent Femmes. The people were here in Boca. They just weren't regular places. Because of that, I was able to really have a self-identity of I could be exactly myself. I didn't have to be with the rest of the sheep in the herd. I could be shaved head and tattoos and whoever I wanted to be. And I was going to be accepted always in this Unitarian Universalist. And that impact to me was life-changing. And that's why I love being a UU.